paying homage to the magnificent Lebanese poet, Gibran Khalil Gibran. Canada must know that its young voters are not its voters. They are the women and men of a future Canada's longing for itself. Human beings are born or become citizen. Ship your theory of sarsen intention, measuring their intrinsic worth as a necessary condition for evolving the global state system stratagem. You may guide youth from ambitiousness, train your teachers in critical analysis to avoid civic evolution paralysis, but impose not upon them thought crustiness. For they are equipped well enough to think for themselves. You may be the house for the body politic, but you're not the only house where their souls are rightfully allowed to express themselves. You may seek to inculcate responsibility, but don't make responsibility an effigy that you burn if their future collaborations have learned how to unlearn the centrality of elite concerns. For political life goes not back to a past that is nowhere, nor is it burdened inextricably by the decisions of a bygone yesteryear. You are the role models by which Canada's youth, as lightning bolts now, pierce the atmosphere from your electrified political clouds and find a path to the ground that is most stable, based on what you enable. So what's your inspiration going to entail? Canadian civil society must not entreat a standard for youth they themselves don't keep. In discomfort, learn and grow, axe rug sweep. They must listen, talk, hear, listen deep. Youth, you are dynamite, giants of politics. Flaunt the finesse of your cleverness. Gain know-how of the partisan games. Dive in, persuade, fan some flames. Write it and participate in good society. Rally and pull the lid from your Sharpie. Debate and meet systematically. Watch, contribute, boycott, pursue it doggedly. Buying power curbs unethical practice. Resistance, refuse, or extraordinary services. Consumer protests are effective rights. Activism, never forget that you're limitless. Keep a positive view of your actions. Follow. Islamophobes and xenophobes are trying for a knockout. Never stop believing that you can vote them out. Open minds are social goods that are clear cut. On racism, biological clock block. Ad hoc prejudice that built in the bedrock by fear, smear, missile bots guided by people who thought getting along is supposed to be a cakewalk. Hate here is born of disavowals not unlike that which produced the Little Rock site. Civility's perennial, stumbling right. With your efforts, we can be more brother-like. They find a path to the ground that is most stable, based on what you enable. So what's your inspiration going to entail? Defy the broad brush of what experts are saying. That you're tuned out to know your clout. Amazing. Don't let ageism, double standards cage you. Expecting your participation, they play you. For some, failure is all they see. Determined to treat your complexity to simply let no one question your agency. Don't let anything prevent you from being happy, from living in freedom and speaking your truth. Your rights are unequivocal, legal sleuth. Volunteering is civic life's fountain of youth. Your vote is efficacious, move your caboose to the booth. Legislative outcomes are not headless. Have faith in democracy and of the alternatives. Engage skepticism, campaign to fill seats, and raise the quality of the ballot sheets. Action is your mithril, male co-protection. Politics speaks your interest when you're thread in its canvas. Know that you can't change the state of anything with the vibes that created the problem in the first place. Acknowledge the basis for your animus and let trust be the guide for your cold calculus. Confidence in the media's reading multiple angles. Refuse to let anyone put your voice on silence. Politicians feel like they've sold out irrelevant. You've got to find your soapbox, stand on it. Be adamant about being a participant, a social anchor, and a civic stimulant. Put people in the spotlight with different pigment. Transform the narrative by being other than indignant. Anger is bad for your vitals, man, retire it. Self-love is the groundwork for influence, invest in it. When you're rapt about being political, you'll face the question, is the difference you're making tangible? Make healthy people the hub of your lexicon. The second phase of your contribution, you'll be an icon. knowing your light is shone. Avoid chipping away at social media plaque buildup with hashtags and zero real dialogue. Instead, become a Canadian values first responder. The reasons we all kiss the ground, return from a flight abroad. Be a teacher for the minds that simply cannot see the other, or that view your freedom as something to smother. Keep a sharp mind about how and why precisely a society languished in past and might in the future. Soften your heart about career politicians, given the complexity of their humanity and company, wrapped as they are in judgment, drudgery, lack of capacity to make everyone happy, or their position sincerity and drive for expediency, or their position zealotry that raises human diversity and the me's-and balancing our commonality, and the charter's progressive elasticity in the face of a myriad mosaic proclivities, or their empathetic levity on structures that should not be, or their incontrovertible fallibility and for your survival cunning artistry. It'll give you perspicacity, faraza, and humility when one day you face the masses as mayor, MLA, MPP, MPs, police chief, or Senate retiree, or engaged in all the overseas diplomacy. You will learn that every burn of every option policy cannot be boiled down to one lackey in khakis or one committee's influential dealings or partisan impasses. As Weber said insightfully, bureaucracy is its own worst contrived enemy with its rule-focused gravity and buck-passing triviality, face-saving public purses, loppy rationality. They find a path to the ground that is most stable, based on what you enable. So what's your inspiration going to entail? Hold your leaders to account, exercise your right to vote. Among devise okay common reference points, that's how we grow. Swing migrants afloat, or structure scapegoats. No, Cannon is not money to hoard and walls of a bank vault. You're not semi-citizens, rather leaders of tomorrow. Celebrate the power of your imagination's throttle. End indefinite asylum incarceration, indigenous food security conditions across the nation, gender inequality and anti-terrorism bait. Target May Muhammad's 15C, ill be now 88, but by privacy. Brown and black youth shudder warily and make borders and travel for ethnic minorities a way for the small to tyrannize and westernize on the basis of security totalities, hellish lies. Heavy security doesn't lead to more security. Power to the youth because the system needs some scrutiny. Security is not made possible through difference erasure. What a fallacy. Tell them that security is built from trust that is politically gospelized. Tell them that security is built from trust that is politically gospelized. This is some truth for our time, and we're all excited to watch you climb and the intelligent ways you change society's lumbering paradigms. Because a true Canadian can be anyone, not just stock nearing its expiry. After all of your volunteering and helping your fellow human, your local and transnational connections may just land you in the PMO to lead Canada for a 4-year term, to innovate the ways we govern, and to spoon-feed Hollywood fodder for a more progressive storyline, a new stereotype.